Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For fast and the cheapest coins anywhere, make sure you guys check out MMOEXP.com and use code ZERK for 5% off your order. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over with you guys, in my personal opinion, the top 10 most underrated cards in Madden 22. Now, what do I mean by underrated? Because obviously some of these cards that I have in this list are good cards, and you guys may agree with me that these cards are good for very specific reasons. But underrated really to me means undervalued, and all these cards that I have in this list are not in the top 5 of their position in terms of price, and I feel like they are potentially a top 5 card. That is what I mean by underrated. In no way, shape, or form will you look at these cards and think, oh, these cards are pretty bad, because all these cards are pretty good, and you guys may agree with me, but the market says that they are not top 5 of their position. So with that being said, you guys can see we are going to start off here with the quarterback. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Conflict for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. But starting off at QB, I do believe that the most underrated quarterback in the game now is Zack Wilson. Now, Zack Wilson, of course, gets Gunslinger, which is why he is so good. In terms of abilities for quarterbacks, Escape Artist is up there, especially right now with the way that Contains work and QB Spies work, which is not very well. But I still would say Gunslinger is number 1 to get those quicker throwing animations, and Zack Wilson gets Gunslinger. However, he's not even 100,000 coins, and he is not within the top 5 of his position in terms of price. And as of right now, for 84K on PlayStation, 75K on Xbox, I think the best value quarterback in the game is Zack Wilson. Now, you do have to power him up, but powering him up gets you Gunslinger. He's got 91 throw power, 88 short, 85 medium, 87 deep, 82 speed, 87 excel. Obviously, there are a lot of really good quarterbacks in the game. Josh Allen, team of the week, Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, Tom Brady, Michael Vick's about to come into the game. So I can understand why Zack Wilson would be outside of the top 5 in terms of price, but I still feel like he's underrated, because if I see Zack Wilson as my opponent's quarterback, I know he's got a really good QB. And when it comes to running backs, I think Reggie Bush, as of right now, has kind of become a little bit underrated. Now, there are a lot of running backs that have came out recently that are pretty similar to Reggie Bush. Now, with a little bit of key differences here, right? Maybe they're slightly faster, or they're better at trucking. But Reggie Bush still, number 1, is a receiving back, right? Which is big because he gets backfield master for 1 AP. He's still one of the faster running backs in the game. He's still one of the most agile, best change of direction running backs in the entire game. One of the best receiving backs overall. Now, yes, his weight is only 205. He, can't really truck, which is kind of where he's maybe fallen out of line of the top 5, because there's a lot of running backs now that can do a little bit more than him. But I still feel like he's underrated, because when I see Reggie Bush out there in the field, I still know my opponent's got an absolute monster at running back. I do think that the new Corduro Patterson, I like him a lot, and I actually almost put Corduro Patterson on this list because he's just like slightly outside of the top 5 when it comes to price. But I feel like Reggie is now even more underrated that I thought about putting Corduro Patterson ahead of him. So yeah, Reggie Bush. There are honestly a ton of wide receivers that I could have potentially put on this list here, but I am going to go with Jalen Waddle, who currently is only about 80,000 coins on PlayStation, even less than that on Xbox, and you get 91 speed and 91 acceleration with 88 deep route running, 85 medium route running, 91 change direction, 90 juke move, and 89 spin move for, like I said, 80K or under. And this is a pretty good card, to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of wide receivers that I could have potentially put on this list, but I feel like for a really, really good value, you get a very fast wide receiver that can route run and good after the catch for very, very cheap. I like Waddle. And kind of the forgotten man at tight end now, because there's just so many good tight ends currently out in the game. I would say is Jimmy Graham. There's a lot of good tight ends out, and no one really talks about Jimmy anymore. and he's only about 80k on Xbox and even less on PlayStation. For 87 speed and 89 acceleration, still one of the fastest tight ends in the game. 6'7", he's 265 pounds, so he can air truck. He's also got 91 spec catch. He's got, 89 catching, 88 catching traffic, 87 trucking with 86 juke move as well, 89 stiff arm. He's got 68 run blocking, 72 impact block. I understand there's a lot of really, really good tight ends in the game right now. I mean, we've got Jared Cook out. We've got Darren Waller out. There's a ton of good tight ends, but Jimmy Graham, still really good. And still currently my left end is Montez Sweat, and I don't really plan on switching from him anytime soon unless we get an absolute monster at defensive end. Montez Sweat has been one of my best players on defense since he came out. He's been one of my best pass rushers since he came out. QB spy, QB contained guy, 87 speed, 90 excel, 89 finesse move, 85 block shed, and he's now under 100k. I would definitely pick up Montez Sweat right now. And DeMarcus Ware, in terms of price for outside linebackers, guys, has actually fallen down the list tremendously. I don't even think he's in the top 10 right now. In terms of price for outside linebackers, maybe he's just cracking the top 10 for right outside linebackers, but in terms of all outside linebackers, he's not even top 10 right now, and this card is still really, really good. 86 speed, 87 excel, 88 finesse move, 88 block shed. I've had him on my team for a while, and I plan to have D Ware on my team for a pretty long time. Obviously, for me, it's a little bit different because, I have 25 to 50 Cowboys chem, but still, great card. The addition of all of the new cornerbacks currently coming out, I kind of feel like Patrick Surtain is, again, kind of becoming that forgotten man, but he is still a really, really good card. Now, the height on him at 6'2" really does help the value of him. He's still hanging around 110k, but he's got 89 speed, 90 acceleration, 90 man, 89 zone, 90 press, and especially if you power him up and get that zone coverage to 90, have that man above 90 already with the press, he's got great block shed, hit power, tackling. I really like Patrick Surtain. I feel like with Jalen Ramsey coming out, people have kind of, switched off from Surtain to pick up Ramsey, but I still think he's a top corner. And Devin Diablo is really, really falling down the list in terms of pricing for safeties. Only 70k right now on Xbox, and I would still say he's potentially the best strong safety user card in the game. Now, of course, Cam Chancellor, yeah, whatever, with Cam Chancellor, but guys you can actually buy. Diablo is one of the best users in the game, and currently my user right now, he's got 90 speed, 91 excel, he's 6'3", 90 hit power, 89 tackling. Obviously, the coverage stats not great, but you're not getting him to cover, you get him to user, 88 jumping, 85 change of direction. I'm surprised at how quickly he's gotten under 100k. I feel like these last two cards actually may surprise some of you guys to be on this list, but Mika Fitzpatrick, he has honestly been one of my least favorite safeties to go against, and I can't really explain it because I feel like there's a ton of really good safeties in the game right now, right? We have Ed Reed, who I think is an incredible coverage safety, and a ton of other players as well, but Mika Fitzpatrick, I don't really know what it is about this card, and maybe if you guys have Mika Fitzpatrick, you can agree with me here, but there's some cards that I feel like, I don't know what it is, certain players, for everybody different, right? They just seem to play well against you. And Mika Fitzpatrick plays really well against me, and I can't really explain it. And the last guy on my list that I think is really underrated is Vita Vea. And again, I mean, in terms of his stats, there are way better defensive tackles out there. There are DTs out there right now with similar pass rush, block shed, but way better speed. But Vita Vea, non-stop. And it's been like this for a couple of years now. Vita Vea dominates me. There is nothing I can do against Vita Vea, and I can't explain it, but Vita Vea seriously just dominates me every single time that I play against him. 347 pounds, obviously the weight is going to help him a lot, especially when it comes to the run game, but Vita Vea is one of those guys that when I see him out in the field, I try to avoid him. It doesn't matter what card. It could be power up 72 overall Vita Vea, and he's still probably going to dominate my line. So with that being said, guys, hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like in the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. That is my list of, in my opinion, the top 10 most underrated cards in Madden 22. Let me know down below some other underrated players, and let me know what card to you is your Vita Vea or Mika Fitzpatrick, because those two guys to me just dominate whenever I play against them. Let me know what kind of underrated cards play super well versus you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.